Shabby's girlfriend.
Beautiful.
Hey, hey, it's Larry Hama.
Gforce and I are going to check out this antique mall, collectibles and things. We'll see what's inside. Hey guys, John here, and welcome back to the Super Awesome Geek Show. So yeah, Gforce and Shabby took me around a couple of days. Gforce took me one day, and then Shabby and Gforce took me around on a second day, where we went antiquing in various areas. This store was in the area where Gforce lives of North Carolina. And then the later part of the video, where you'll see Shabby in it at times, was in Shabby's area. And they both took me around places near where Shabby lives. So very thankful to both Gforce and Shabby for showing me around. And
Now I'm gonna get flagged.
looking at some really cool stuff in your antique malls and places. Wrestling here, Star Trek. I'll do a little bit of a voiceover here and there. Sometimes I'll just pause and let you look. So we'll see if anything that interests me or I want to highlight, I'll speak up and show you about, talk about. Archie's Digest, Coca-Cola, Tonka. I had a lot of those die-cast cars like that, like this Tonka one, when I was a kid. And seeing them in these stores made me like consider collecting them again, because I was, that the stuff that brings back memories of your childhood. That's kind of what drives part of my collection. She's got a schoolhouse, or is that Sesame Street? Was that a Sesame Street thing?
Sesame Street.
I don't remember. Fido's. He popped out the front, right? That's a metal, like, yeah. Tin toys, is that what they call it? Star Trek, what was that?
Glass, that's cool.
Krug. Star Trek 2, was that? Wrath of Khan. Moving and grooving Pepsi cans. Remember those dancing Pepsi cans? That's hilarious. There were just lots of weird things in here, or things that I haven't seen since I was a kid. We don't have a lot of these kind of antique mall things near me in Florida, or at least that I've found so far. I mean, there could be something hiding out there that I just don't know about yet. So hopefully I'll find something like this eventually in my area. I'd love it if there was. Hey,
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah,
the original Slinky Dog. Look at that.
the original Slinky Dog.
Quite different than the Toy Story movie, right? Cool tank down there. A big cheeseburger. Now these things, we used to put our G.I. Joes and stuff in those cars. And Jeeps like this, we would use them for G.I. Joe. Cars like this, we put our action figures in there. Star Wars, G.I. Joe. 3 3/4 inch things would fit pretty well in those. G.I. Joe. It's amazing what you'll find in an antique shop. A crystal skull. Indiana Jones didn't have to go searching out in the jungle. He could just go to the antique shop.
I had the snowmobile.
Look at that. I remember this. I'm pretty sure we had this. That is awesome. That is so cool. The plastic cups are neat. Dinosaurs. Yeah. Oh, Gforce is playing. Rocking out with Gforce. G.I. Joe figure. $25 with no accessories.
Does he say $25?
Little high.
That is
Too
crazy.
high a price.
He doesn't have any weapons.
Nice.
Has candy masks.
Yeah.
Bucks. Oh, the price and stuff crazy.
Oh, Fisher Price Red.
Yeah, that's good.
Adventure
22
people.
is too much money, though.
Yes, it is.
Pretty cool. Camera stuff.
I have this exact thing.
Too bad none of it is Graflex.
Fisher Price Rescue, yeah, it's adventure people too.
And you got $16.50 on there.
Adventure
No
people
accessories.
again.
What's Tatooine?
Things like that Tonka Rescue. I had that as a kid.
Wait,
Superman.
is this a thing of bread
Superman bread, yeah.
with the bread still in it?
Stale as fuck bread.
All this stuff is really, really cool. Really neat to see some of this. Look at that mummy.
So this one is in Ollie's, John. This is in Ollie's for like $8.
Yeah.
$24 he's got it.
His prices are a little high.
Yeah, buddy.
Perseus Lone Ranger G.I. Joe case. I didn't even want to ask because the prices here were outrageous, so I didn't even bother asking. The Inchworm, remember riding that as a kid? I know we had one of those on the farm. $44. Why 44? Why not 45? Weird. Creature from the Black Lagoon. Medusa.
Forgot what set this goes to, but the phone booth, that's pretty cool.
Those are cool. Look at those little jets. Bewitched. Yeah. There was a Bewitched on the wall.
Who's got the escape?
Bunch of Star Wars stuff here. Some modern, some slightly older. Mostly, I mean, kind of modern stuff, you know. Outrageously priced as well because they think, oh, it's Star Wars, it's gold. It's worth more than gold. You know, you can't be an expert in everything, though. That's how it works. Seven Dwarfs. Cool tank. I had this tank when I was a kid. I was really looking at it because I wanted it again. Once I saw it, I was like, oh, I remember this. I had this as a kid. Mountain Dew car. I think we had that as a kid.
They have like a loose modern Snake Eyes over there. This says droid on it. It's with all the Star Wars shit.
McNugget snack maker. Look at that. Fisher Price school bus.
Oh yeah, that's neat.
Space Battle or something.
The train, yeah, there's a big train. I had that red train, or tractor, and stuff like that when I was a kid.
It's almost time.
Is that Bam Bam and Pebbles? Oh my god. What were you saying? You were...
That's the type of tractor my brother's in. I don't know what type of
Lionel Trains. Bags of Army Men. Railroad. yeah. So many trains. Digger. Ziggy. Friends thing. A dead animal.
Deer skull.
Tins.
What screams more 80s and Enter the Ninja Skateboard?
Awesome. Snack-alongs. Give a show projector. Wow. That's crazy.
Oh, those are really cool. What you got on that? 44. He bumped his fucking head.
Box only.
Oh.
Lots of board games and things here. Put that wax on it from the Griswolds. Porky pig. Ibity. Elmer Fudd, right? Did the skipping.
It's expensive. $28. That's crazy. It ain't that good.
It's supposed to lay down. It's not. It's not a thing that stands up. We had this.
Oh yeah,
Kids.
Dizzy Driver.
Yeah, that's
I
funny.
don't think that we had the windshield wiper, so we must have got it second hand.
I don't know. I just remember seeing it when we were kids.
Death trap sealed key.
Strap them to your existing shoes and go.
And they just hang on to your ankle and screw you all up.
Crazy stuff in here. Ford Bronco sign, Moolah, lunchbox. Tonka fire engine thing. Oh, they do have a
Decent
ton.
set. You got the little droid.
$22. This is
fucking
$22
crazy.
on it.
They're
This
crazy.
is a $5 figure.
They're crazy.
Dude,
$37.
these are $5 figures.
23. 37 for Palps. 14 for Mall. What a crime.
What the hell, man?
Chiadi Mundi.
You see why that lady thought she had 50,000? She's coming to places like this and they're going, oh, these are worth $1 million.
Hundreds. We're giving it away.
It's really too bad that these antique shops don't have better prices on things, because There's a lot in here we could buy, a lot in here we would like to have. But they're just being really absurd with the toy prices in here. I don't get it at all. Like, a lot of antique shops do this.
Whole bunch of torture devices back here.
Torture devices? I remember that thing had blocks in it.
Yeah.
Poster.
Remember these? So you get the ice out, you know?
Ha, I remember that. Bud Light sign.
This is the torture chamber. Look, there's a nice big hook to get you in, and bear traps, and
saw blades.
I don't want to get too many of those on my video.
His truck. And lots of Pizza Hut and other train things. A bicycle. Payoff. Fire dump truck. Chuck Norris's karate Corvette in the box. What? But it was too much money. Now, we had a lot of these vehicles. This was bringing back memories. I remember that fire engine. There's a hippo. Remember the army truck, the tractors we had. I'm pretty sure one of us, my brother, had that Spectral Knight truck. We had that fire engine. Didn't have that. Nope. But yeah, a lot of that stuff brought back memories. We used to break out the windows, and then you could put the guys, our figures inside. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a pop? Yeah, these things really were bringing back memories. These old trucks and things. Yeah, I know we had Tonka dump trucks and things, and the earth mover and stuff. But Mark had a couple of those big rigs.
What? Sorry.
There was somebody else standing over there, and I didn't mean to exclaim so hard because $188, there was no box or other part. It was just absolutely crazy what that guy wanted for it. I feel like we had that ride-on tractor too, that was just on the floor. There was so much back here that I remembered as a kid that I probably haven't seen in 40 years, you know? I think some of the stuff just got out of my memory. I forgot we even had it. Now that I'm seeing it, I'm remembering it, you know?
Look at that, Dino.
$22. Got both seals.
Snoopy at Woodstock. crazy old lunch boxes. Mickey Mouse Club. Yeah, pretty cool. Thermoses. The barn set from Fisher Price or whatever it was. A combine. Tonka truck.
Yeah. Are those the ones that with the wanted on them?
Books here, various books. Creepy dolls. Really scary, creepy dolls. A dragonfly-like vehicle. Too bad the canopy didn't open. Can't fit figures in it. Comic books on racks here. We spent some time looking through them. Nothing good. Really, a lot of the comics in here were like stuff that I would put in a dollar bin. There was nothing really worth anything in here. I looked through every rack. I was trying to see if there were any gems hidden in the pile, but nope. Just odd stuff here and there. Oh, there's a Star Trek figure thrown in. Randomly in this pile of stuff, you know.
What's the time? Shark brooch almost looked like Jabba Dog because they got the Jetsons right next to it.
Yeah.
There's the tractor again with the trailer. I think we had that trailer too. I feel like I remember that. Coca-Cola. There's a Game Boy in there. Some 12-inch Lone Ranger figures. Starsky and Hutch. Mego, right? Yeah. Just various things in this one. Interesting.
One sold for $700. Get the box.
I bet. Those are crazy.
I can do like 24.
They were talking about the basketball hoops in the boxes up there. Pretty cool stuff to see, I guess. I think G wanted one of them.
I've seen it before.
Sandwich makers.
Oh,
Hot
yeah.
Pocket sandwiches.
Hot Pocket. Ring Giants. Triple H. Look at that.
American Tourist Steamer.
Is that Cabbage Patch Kids Cuddle and Care?
Cassette holder. $10 price of the radio flyer.
We have one of those big globes in the.
I always wanted one for some reason.
How y'all doing?
Good, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
So, yep, we wandered into a second store in the area. We went around the block and there was a few stores, a few antique shops in this area. So, pretty cool. What the? Hillbilly elf on a shelf. Or something, you know? Yes, Elf on the Shelf is not something modern or new. It's been around since the 70s. I remember having them as a kid. It just became... I don't think it was called Elf on the Shelf back then either. It just became... I think someone at some point got the rights to that little elf and then renamed it Elf on a Shelf. I don't know the complete history of it. But I do know they existed. Those elves existed way back, but they just weren't called Elf on a Shelf. Astro Fleet. Look at that. G.I. Joe. Tin trucks, metal trucks. Whoa. Crazy old stuff here. 120? That's ridiculous. Just because it's old doesn't mean it's worth that much.
Lots of Disney movies.
Dollies. Do you need some dollies? I can walk, I can talk, I can even wet my pants. Would you play with me? Can you wet your pants? Was that from Dangerous Toys, I think? Or not Dangerous Toys, Demonic Toys. Yeah, the movie Demonic Toys. I can walk, I can talk, I can even wet my pants. Can you wet your pants? Frosty Fred. Look at that. They had like a vacuum or something going in this place. I don't know. Turned the sound down in the background just to look at these monkeys. Clown face. Mighty Mouse book. Interesting. Interesting comics, books, and other weird things.
For rum?
That monkey. Probably like the bank next to it too.
You Masters.
Is that Mothra?
No. It's just an old moth and butterfly.
It's Mothra. We knew it was Mothra. Suddenly you're like, hey, you know, this thing looks really cool.
Yeah, let me touch it.
Disney Kaleidoscope. Magic Adder. Coca-Cola, if you're into Coke. Now, is that Coke can drinking Coke? So is he like drinking himself? Or a friend? Does that mean that Coke can's a cannibal? I mean, if a Coke can is drinking Coke, is he drinking some other Coke can's innards? Meaning that he killed another living Coke can and drank him. I don't think we want to think about that, do we? It's just, yeah. Turtle. I think we had some of this stuff when we were little kids. I think a lot of people will recognize that stuff. The Pepsi and Coke and various other soft drink or soda bottles, soda pop bottles, were really interesting to me because I remember a lot of these going back through the ages. I remember getting soda pop deliveries sent to the house. They would come in they'd come in these things like the Storm King beverage thing over there to the left. And giant like 1 liter or 2 liter glass bottles. I think they're 1 liter glass bottles, right? Those things. And they would deliver them in a carry-all, like a crate almost, and set them outside the front door at the house, on the farmhouse. And our parents would just order, you know, let me have 2 cola, 1 grape, and 1 orange, or something like that, and we'd get them delivered. And it was some kind of generic cola company. It wasn't even like Coke or Pepsi. It was just, oh, here are more axes, more battle axes and things. I don't know what it was with the Carolinas, but there was a lot of battle axes and stuff in these bins and hanging on walls and stuff in these inside these antique shops. Pac-Man. There's a dinosaur thermos. We were looking around at all this stuff here. I picked up a couple comic books at one of the places. We'll do all our pickups in another video because I have a lot of pickups from Joefest and shops.
Doll parts, doll skin.
Mr. Dog.
I thought that said murder dog.
Oh, I had the dinosaur book. I remember that. That's awesome.
Toodle. Yep, Toodle 3.
Poodle, yeah.
I liked those little golden books as a kid. I really loved those things.
These guys. Ooh. That's cool. Those are cool. Oh yeah, the old crush cans. Let me scoot out first.
Too small for both of us.
The old cans were cool. Lots of signage and memorabilia in that aspect in these places. Lots of places had Pepsi and Coke cans and various other things. Train sets were really everywhere, especially Lionel and other. And what's the other one? Yeah. Rector set, pretty cool. Quick mugs, remember the Quick? Annie. Agway truck. Wow, that was cool. That takes me back. We had an Agway in our area. I think we had this dog. Mark did or something. I don't remember who had it.
Play-Doh? $20, John. Could be yours.
Dr. Drill and Phil.
That's hilarious.
I do kind of want one. We had Drill and Phil, I think, when we were kids.
Oh, that's the car. Yeah. Cowboy Roundup. Look at that.
I don't know if that's supposed to be Snoopy or what, but some weird dog thing up there. Ring-ding Brothers. Oh, more axes and torture devices. See? More battle axes. The Ringling Brothers Circus poster. Yeah, what was it with the Carolinas and these battle axes? I mean, were there Vikings in the area? Peanuts. Other Three Little Pigs again. Glasses. Glasses. Drinking glasses. Everyone had drinking glasses like that back in the day. Those were probably all painted with lead-based paints, so they're not drinkable today. I wouldn't recommend putting them in your dishwasher or drinking with those. More battle axes and other things on the wall over there. A weird monkey that I'm assuming used to blow bubbles and used to have a bubble thing in his hand.
I love that chunk up there. ABC Sports Truck.
Oh, yeah.
That would be great for 54-inch figures, wouldn't it?
It would work, yeah, it would work.
I had one of these as a kid. Just Fisher's Post ball with the carousel
Yeah.
rocking horses.
The thing is, you could kick the shit last forever, don't they? They fell down the stairs so many times. And that apple that had the bell inside, you remember that? Yeah. I used to chuck that down the stairs too.
So, yep, we picked up Shabby, and now we're in the area where Shabby lives, checking out antique shops near the Shabster. Gforce, Shabby, and I'm really thankful for them taking me around in Shabby's area as well. Another one of those combines. Another quick cup. Quick chocolate milk mix. More Looney Tunes and dolls and other weird things. What's this truck down here? That was for the play people things, right? The peg people? What were those called? The ones with the pegs on the bottom? I don't remember. Pro Action. The Wicked Witch of the West shoes. Here's a bunch of creepy dolls. They had $20 on this case, and I thought at first it came with all the cars, but then on the sticker it said no cars included. So it was $20 just for the case. I was like, oh. If it was all the cars and the case, I would have bought it.
That's hilarious. Nice too, that's good stuff.
Batman, skateboards. Interesting. Old lady in a shoe. People had that pulled around a lot. Shabby trying to make a phone call. Smurf glass.
Take me home. Take me home. I'm going to kill you in your sleep. Wow.
I gave him to Pete because Pete was doing up his Eternia. Do you know what I mean? So
There's Dino's Rodan back there. He needs a Rodan for his Godzilla, so. Wow. Just
look, ancient tools, but I bet to your dad, they're like,
You ever seen these guys? Star Trek glasses?
oh yeah.
I really wanted this. When I saw this, I was like, this is going home with me. Absolutely. Until I saw the price. No thermos inside. But I love the look of this. I really want $65. If it was $30, that was coming home with me. But I don't know. I'm not sure 65 is fair. I didn't look it up, but I just don't think that's the going price. Without a thermos, you know? Maybe if it had the thermos, it would be worth that much, but not without a thermos. Comic books. Again, I thought these were a bit overpriced. The comics in this shop were pretty high.
They're every up and start here, so.
Oh, this is freaking awesome.
That's something crazy right there.
That's so cool, that weird thing, yeah. Oh, you have to dig through so much, yeah.
I left the wheel of fortune spinning.
20 each, so it would be pricey. Sorry.
Hey, no problem.
What is this?
The thing with those comics is, if you want to pay those prices, you would go to a comic book store. You can, if you take your time and hunt around, you can find them for $5 or less at a lot of places. Those same comics. So
Tupperware stuff. Rubbermaid.
To me, when you're in an antique shop like this, or you're thrifting, or you're out
It's Jenny.
doing stuff like this, you're hunting for bargains. You're not hunting to play full retail. So that's why I'm saying those comics were overpriced.
Face. He's my kind of ending space.
Oh, neat. Holds 100 cars. Oh, so much. How much is that one?
25.
Wow. Oh, Shabby got lost in the Christmas. Is it the Griswolds with a tree on top? Oh, yeah.
Come here, Shabby.
Oh, Jesus.
Shingle remover. Ain't that
How
something?
did Shabby die? We don't know, but he had a big smile on his face.
He was loving it.
Yeah, there was just a lot in here that, like, going back to those comics. This is the Flash and Superman. I found a couple of the same kind of comics, a Sectars and a Where Monsters Dwell or something like that. And the guy gave me both of them for $10. I basically got them for $5 each. And that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. You go to the right store and you can get those. And this guy would have priced those comics at $30 each. You know what I mean? So you go to the right place, get the right store. So you got to have patience when you're collecting those things, because you will eventually find them for a really good price. This guy had his Star Wars figures priced right.
Is that the price? Sorry.
I mean, it's basically the price of a good loose figure. And then this. Yeah. It's $12 for that Empire Strikes Back lunchbox. So that did end up coming home with me. $12 for an Empire Strikes Back lunchbox. I grabbed it. Well, guys, we're coming to the end. Thanks a lot for coming along with us into these antique shops with Shabby Geek and Gforce. Appreciate them taking me around. Appreciate you guys sticking with us on our tour of antique shops around North and South Carolina. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Stay awesome out there, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Thanks again, my friend.
The Super Awesome Geek Show is part of the Super Awesome Geek Show network. Please check the description below and subscribe to the channels that interest you.
I am John, Wookiee impersonator and Aladrin warlock with the Warriors of the Stars. Along came Jason, my bearded friend. Fabulous secret ideas were revealed to me the day he came to my house and said, "I want to make a podcast!" Only two others share this secret.
I am Chris Visions. I like walks on the beach, sunsets, poodles. What's up, everybody? Morphin' time. Hi, I'm Rick Remender.
Rob, the artist.
Hey everybody, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm Christopher Sabella.
Hi, this is Ashley Eckstein, voice of Ahsoka Tano.
Robbie Amell. What's up, guys?
Today I have special guest Mike Selinker.
You do indeed.
We're working on Black Science. Bob McLeod, creator of the New Mutants. I've been working for Marvel and DC Comics for the last 40 years. Brian Herbert.
About a year ago, I've got a Twitter site. I couldn't get my own name. Somebody took my name.
And we have special guest Gus Lopez.
Oh, hey guys, I'm thrilled to be on.
Robin Hobb is here.
Working on a trilogy called The Fitz and the Fool.
Livio Raimondelli.
Appreciate it. I'm a big Transformers fan, G1 fan myself.
Together we started talking about toys, comics, games, and movies on the Super Awesome Geek Show!